overall, the character of Spider-Man over the years, I feel has, I'm not gonna say been downgraded, but there are certain things that have become tropes and become trademarks of that character that I don't necessarily agree with. I'm not really crazy about every version of Spider-Man now being a teenager, being a young
Yeah.
version that cracks jokes in the middle of fights and everything like that.
Yeah.
I would rather, and this is just my personal opinion, but I mean, he's not Spider Boy. He's
Right.
not.
Right.
He's not Spider Teen. He's not Spider Preteen. He's Spider Man. I would like to see that version of the character eventually mature into someone who's on the same level as a Captain America, on the same level as an Iron Man, on the same level of a Batman or a Superman. So far, there's only been one version of that character in live action that can stand next to Tony Stark and not get sunned out.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And it wasn't Andrew Garfield. You see what I'm
Nah.
saying?
Mm-mm.
There's
Far
only
from
been one. There's only been one version of the character that could really sit at the table with some of these live action adaptations now that have become iconic.
it.
And the
Mm-hmm.
thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is I feel like it's kind of going in reverse. Like we don't need, I don't know. I don't always need Spider-Man to be a guy that doesn't take his life being in danger seriously.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I think. I mean, what you're speaking on is what some, not some, a lot of fans have been complaining about the character of Spider-Man for the last 5 to 10 years, and
Hmm.
I think it's just them trying to appeal to a younger crowd, trying them to it's the big companies trying to give him more of a mass appeal, because even this is not just in film, but this is on print as well. When
Hmm.
writers write Spider-Man, they have him cracking one-liners, they have him being childish, like he's a man child. They have him doing just things that are out of character. People really think on surface level he's Deadpool light and he's a kid, he's a teenager. That's far from the case. He's not Deadpool light. He's not the majority of his time in the comic book form is him as an adult. It's him in college. He was in high school for
Yep.
like what, maybe I don't know, 30 to 40, 50 issues out of the 800 that he has. I mean, come on. That tells you something here. His best storylines are him as a full-grown adult. His most signature shit is when he's an adult, not senior year in high school, not year one Spider-Man. I
Hmm.
think definitely having Toby showcasing that struggle, showcasing that problem, showcasing him holding his own against the villains. He's the only one that could sit at a table with Christian Bale's Batman, or Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, or Chris Evans'
Yep.
Cap. You know what I'm saying? He's the
Yep.
only one of the Spider-Man iterations. Tom Holland is he gets sunned every film, and that's intentional. That's intentional. He gets sunned every single movie, you know. And it's like,
Yep.
oh, I get it, I get it. You want to do the young version, I get it. But at some point, I don't want to see a best of previous hits, because let's not get it twisted. Both Tom and Andrew have done pretty much shot for shot greatest hits of Tobey Maguire when it comes to
Oh man.
Spider-Man stretching his arms out trying to connect the ship together.
Mm.
That's a straight train rip, man.
Hmm.
Having I mean, some of the swinging sequences of Andrew Garfield trying to sneak in an American flag in the background at night
Well,
before
yeah.
he gets the
Having them
lizard.
take his having them take his mask off and give it to the kid, telling the kid it's gonna, yeah, yeah,
Right, right.
telling the kid it's gonna be okay after he takes off his mask. All of that. All of
Mm-hmm.
that. Absolutely.
So,
100%. Like that's not by accident.
mm-hmm. So I think you have three Spider-Men, you have three veterans. If they pull it off, I think it's gonna be a little bit tricky to balance everyone, have everyone look good in a good light, and not have Tom completely overshadowed by the other two. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to give Tom a shining moment. You're gonna have Toby get a shining moment. Everyone needs to have a little moment, but this does nothing to help Tom Holland's character unless there's some real growth from Toby passing the torch to him, either through death or just through mentorship. To where from this point on, it has to be a significant defining moment to where you see Spider-Man in Avengers movies and it's game on. You know what I'm saying? Or you see Spider-Man in his next solo movie, like, oh shit, like, yeah, he's back at it now. Like, this is Tom not comfortable, but this is Tom on some new level with the Spider-Man character. I'm digging this, and it all derived from that Spider-Man 3 Spider-Verse. Let me ask you this: on one hand, this is all speculation. This is all Fantasyland.
Oh,
on the other, this is all Fantasyland, right? On the other hand, what if they try to pull this shit off without Toby?
Well,
what if they try to give you Electro, Andrew Garfield, the previous version of Green Goblin? They get Kirsten Dunst. You know what I'm saying? And they get
no Toby.
No Toby. They do all this, and Toby does not come back for this film. How much
with
of a
Doctor Strange?
With Doctor Strange, they pull it all off, but no Toby. How, at that point, do you just say fuck it? We're not going to do it.
I mean, I wouldn't just throw my hands up and walk away from it. But it would be bittersweet. It would be bittersweet because it would kind of look like everybody didn't make it to the party.
Right.
If this right here is the celebration of Sony planting their flag and being able to say we're still here, right? Because this is like, again, for all intents and purposes, it would be bittersweet because this is literally Sony telling the moviegoer, we are still here. There's still a reason for you to believe in us as a brand. We might have made a deal with them. We might have got down, but we didn't lay down. There's a difference. There's a huge difference between get down or lay down. We got down, but we didn't lay down. There's still a reason for us to, we can still go into our bag. We can still go into our library and give you an event. We can still give you something special. We can still give you a movie-going experience that might stick with you for 10, 15 years after you pay for your ticket and sit down and watch it in the theater. Like, that means a lot. You know, that really means a lot in the grand scheme of how everything is working here, because let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Disney is an empire. Everything that they've done up to this point has been calculated, and it's going to continue to be calculated. As much as we love the Marvel movies and the MCU, let's not get it twisted. They're still under that umbrella. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man.
So that part of it can't be understated at all. But I would still be excited about it because it would be different. But it would be bittersweet if they couldn't get Tobey Maguire to agree to it. It would almost be like everybody didn't make it to the party. But it's almost a situation where I can't see it going. If all of this stuff has been announced and they don't get Tobey Maguire to be a part of it, I don't see how it could live up to the potential that it should live up to.
Yeah. I mean, fan expectations is really high, super high. You have all these things connecting the dots. I mean, hell, you have Sam Raimi directing Doctor Strange 2. And then you have Doctor Strange and the Madness of the Multiverse or whatever. Multiverse Madness. Yeah, Sam Raimi is directing Doctor Strange 2, man. Okay, no bullshit. Yeah. So, with that, and then you have Doctor Strange in the next Spider-Man 3 film to have, connecting the dots. You have all this appeal. They're going to have some kind of appeal to Toby outside of money. I think it's going to have to be definitely an emotional appeal. something in the sense of, look, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don the suit. Hell, we can make it as easy as possible. You don't even need to hit up the gym, bro. Like, we got you
Mm-hmm.
at a certain degree, you know? And
Right.
it's gonna have maybe Sam Raimi, you're gonna have to go over there and talk to him one on one. And this is Sony talk to him, not Marvel Studios. This is Sony that's gonna talk to him as well. So this is like a sense of familiarity. Appeal to the kids. This is your children. This is the way to cement yourself in the pop culture stratosphere. You're getting your head on the freaking Mount Rushmore of icons. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So this is gonna they're gonna have to appeal to him like that without the money for him to come back and get this thing done, man. Because I can see there's a dire need for the movie industry to get butts back in the theaters. There's a
Well,
need to make something big, something like an Avenger type film that you can't miss, so that
mhm.
you're willing to get people to risk it to go back in the theaters. And I think this is a kind of move that they're trying to make to get the movie industry going with the theaters and get people back in
Well,
seats.
well, this is the other part I was gonna mention here. Let's keep it all the way a buck here, bro. I
Uh,
mean, it ain't happening until 2023 anyway.
right.
maybe,
Right.
maybe 2022, but 2023, you know what I'm saying? So we're
Mhm.
still pie in the sky right now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We're
true,
still
true.
this is still fantasy booking that we're
Right.
that we're that we're talking about right now.
I got one other thing for the Miles, because we got the Miles Morales game coming out on PS5. Miles popped. Miles hit. Miles
Yep.
resonates with people. Miles is accepted now in the mainstream. The Spider Verse movie and the attention he had in the comic book. It's like you can't say that Miles is just a black Peter Parker, because if that was the case, he wouldn't have popped the way he did. He would not
Right.
be relevant to the state. He would have he would have been lost in comic history as a failed alternate version of Spider-Man, but that's not
He
true.
he would have been right there next to the Scarlet Spider.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you would have been with the Scarlet Spider. You would have had to wait 10, 15 years for a little miniseries on him to come back, and then he goes away again. So I don't want to hear any complaints about Miles Morales when you're not complaining about Superior Spider-Man, Otto, and the rest of them. Only on
Hmm.
Miles you want to hemorrhage on because he's a hit for a reason. And if and Spider-Gwen is now coming up works as well. She's gonna gain popularity. So if you got a problem, just I want to hear you complain about I want to hear you complain. I want consistency in your criticism. If you got a problem with Miles, you got a problem with Scarlet Spider, you got a problem with Spider Gwen. I don't hear I got a problem with Miles and Scarlet Spider comes out the woodworks like, oh yeah, cool, Ben O'Reilly's back. I don't want to I don't want to hear that shit because you're just contradicting yourself at that point. And
Yeah, you're never
that's what I
gonna
got
hear
on
that.
Miles, man.
You're never gonna hear that.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
that's
you know what I mean?
that's all I got, man. Anything else you got on this
Oh,
topic?
well, no, not on the topic, but yeah, on a side note, man. Shout out to Homeboy Talk, man.